Let's bring in great friend of the show, political journalist John Fund. John, thanks for coming on the program. Now, I want to talk to you about some of these polls which I'm seeing. A new national poll from Quinnipiac shows President Biden taking a small 3-point lead over Donald Trump in a head-to-head race. This is a bit of an outlier, but they've got him at 48-45. But here's what's really interesting. The survey also found that the inclusion of independent and third-party candidates like RFK Jr. then winds up seeing Trump pull back ahead. Tell us, how is the Kennedy spoiler effect, John, playing out in this race? And why is it that Kennedy voters, or having Kennedy in the mix, is actually winding up helping Trump? I would have thought that they would have come across to Biden when the crunch comes in the ballot box.
Some of them will, but remember, the key to this election, James, is just like in 2016, about a fifth of the voters hate both candidates, not just dislike or disagree with, but hate. But they're going to vote, or at least many of them will. I think that 13% that RFK has will shrink. A chunk of it will go back to Biden. A big chunk simply won't vote or stay home. And second and lastly, Trump will retain a big chunk of that because remember, Kennedy's strength is his campaign against the establishment. That means the status quo, or in his case, he sometimes calls it the status quo. So while Kennedy does attract some anti-establishment voters, the Kennedy name is magic still with many Democrats, including minority Democrats. And many minority Democrats are disillusioned with Joe Biden, so they will gravitate and stay with RFK Jr.
But how do you sort of pigeonhole RFK, or is that not possible? I mean, we were speaking before the program with the producers and saying, you know, on some things he's got some really hard left opinions, you know, on the environment and things like that. On other things, he's pretty hard to the right. How do you even begin to categorize him, or is this why he's an independent?
Yes, but 30 years ago, we had a candidate who was a little similar to that, named Ross Perot.
Yes.
Now, he ended up getting 19% of the vote, but he was a mixture of interesting issues. He was pro-choice on abortion. He was very much opposed to the debt and deficits, and that united him with a lot of conservative Democrats and also a lot of conservative Republicans. So I think that the anti-establishment flavor of RFK Jr. is what explains his appeal, because both parties are in ill repute today.
But now, I remember Ross Perot, when he was out there in 1992, he put up a lot of his own money, and he was really quite a force there. RFK, though, there seems to be a real effort to kind of squelch his profile, I think, in the media and elsewhere. And I've noticed that
smash like a bug.
Yeah, smash like a bug. Well, including also they're trying to keep him off the ballot in states like Nevada. Does that show that they are really concerned now about, in the Democrat camp, about RFK siphoning off votes from Biden when he's clearly going to need every vote he can get if he's going to have a chance to pull this off in November?
You know, it is interesting. The Democratic theme this year is democracy is on the ballot.
Yeah.
And we have to save our democracy. I don't know how you save the democracy by limiting people's choices, by launching lawfare lawsuits to force a former, major figure in the Democratic Party off the ballot. It sounds to me like it's a lot about, we're in charge, we're a political machine, and we're not going to give you any choices.
Yeah, no, I've noticed that sort of irony about the people who seem to want to sort of destroy democracy in order to save it.